Yeah, when I started out working with Omno, it's been this huge mountain of work in front of me, and there's been so many doubts, and the pressure was insane. And when I look back on that now, I still can't believe how lucky I am that the story ended the way it did. My name is Jonas Manke, and I'm the solo developer of Omno and the founder of Studio Inkyfox. Omno is a third-person adventure with puzzle platforming elements and a strong emphasis on exploration. As a player, you're on a pilgrimage seeking a mystical light. As you go through the game, you reveal bits and pieces about the ancient culture, and you eventually learn something about the character that you're playing, or maybe even about yourself as a player. Making fantasy worlds was always something that excited me, and I grew up with a pen in my hands, and so do my kids. My desk was cluttered with drawings from my kids. They come in, put something on my desk and go like, this is my new dinosaur. You know, that inspires me to come up with some weird shapes for the animals and, you know, to mix animals. The urge to see something new, to discover new horizons in a way. And that's a feeling that I wanted to capture in my game as well. That's probably why I ended up emphasizing the exploration part that much in my game. Before I started with the production of Omno, I was a character animation artist for roughly 10 years, and I was working mostly in the film and television industry. Initially, the Omno figure was just a test rig for me to see how animation works within the Unreal Engine, and I felt like that little character deserves some more than just being, you know, ripped apart and pulled on. So I created just for myself as a learning experience a little landscape around him. When I started with the Unreal Engine to learn about the animation pipeline, I was totally surprised how easy it was to learn. Started watching online tutorials. I was watching a YouTube playlist on how to learn the Unreal Engine, on how to work with it, and it just clicked with me. I felt like I can get things into place quickly. I can see the results that I'm working on right away, which was really motivating because usually it just takes a ton of time to make something look good, and that's not been the case with the Unreal Engine. It took roughly half a year or so until I had something on my hands where I felt like this looks kind of cool, and I was showing it to a friend, and he was like, hey man, you have to show that to other developers, and this looks really like something. And I posted it on Facebook back then in a developer group, and I felt like that all those professional people in there would rip my stuff apart. But that was not the case. I received hundreds of messages within just a few hours. My computer actually crashed because of that, because my browser couldn't handle that. I knew I have to move on with the game and handle all the doubts and questions that I had on the side, and handle the funding question. My biggest fear was that if I would sign with a publisher or like an investor, that they would have too much influence on my work. And it took me a couple of months to realize that I have to turn those offers down and realize that I just want to make that game. The Mega Grant allowed me to stick to my vision and gave me the funding to enlarge the scope of the game, to add more areas, to work more creatures in there, which eventually is what makes Omno what it is today, because there's more stuff to explore and to discover, right? Me as a solo developer, there's no one you can bounce your ideas with, right? You can't get feedback on everything instantly. There's no team that taps your shoulder and goes like, just keep moving. When you're in doubt, then basically the entire production is stuck. The Mega Grant gives you the moral boost and gives you like a true indicator that you're working on something that's promising and that it's worth it to pursue, and that someone's believing in you. That's a message with a really big impact.